So it's now recording. You can see that. I'm going to bring up After Effects. Here we are. And I'll click on that to get rid of this. So this little thing is going to have to sit down here somewhere. Okay, right, so here we go. So I'm going to talk to you today about time remapping. And you're going to enjoy this because it's a very, very nice way to work. So here we go. I've got a piece of movie here that you'll be familiar with probably, this thing here. If I drop it in there and play it, you can see, remember this? Some of you maybe have possibly used this before, I don't know. Now the thing about this piece of video is it's very short. It's about, I don't know, let's have a look. It's only 3.5 seconds in length, all right? And it's shot at a slightly speeded up version, but that's it. There's not much I can do with it. I can't stretch it longer. You notice that? I can make it shorter, but all that's doing is cutting the length of it. It's not speeding it up or anything like that, okay? So what I'm going to do here is look and see if it would be possible for me to speed it up, all right? So I'm just going to get the existing film. I'm going to hold down the command button, which we sometimes call the Apple button. Do you know the one I mean? And I press D once, and it will duplicate it for me. See that? So I've now got a copy, and I'll just drag this along here. I'm going to leave that one, the first one, at its original length, and I'm going to then change this one here. Okay? This is how you do it. You watching? I right-click on the piece of video in question, and I get this series of these series of options in the menu. I want to go to Time, Enable Time Remapping. See that? If I do that, it puts in for me 2 keyframes. Can you see that underneath the text? Yeah. So underneath the layer. I can now get hold of these keyframes, and you see I can stretch them out. So what I can do is I can actually make this much longer. All right? Now when I make it longer, I can now get hold of this, and you see I can now move this now. I couldn't move it before, but now I can. So you know what's going to happen now. What effect would that have on that piece of video? Slows it down, okay? So the same piece of video is now playing over 3 times the length. So if we just watch it now in slow motion, it'll build a RAM preview quickly. Ignore all that. That's just, now this is real time now, okay? And then we're going to come down, we're going to see it now. This is in slow motion. You can see how easy that was to do, okay? Now, let's just say for a moment, what I would like to do is actually, because this is a dream, I would actually like to reverse what's going on here. I could do that by selecting that piece of video, right-clicking on it, going up to Time, and you see it says Time Reverse Layer. Okay? Click on that. You'll notice now that that layer has got a red stripe in it. That means it's been reversed. I could then go play, build a time preview, and you'll get a very, very nice effect, very easily achieved. So here he goes. There you go. Okay? Now, consider how that might look in a video about dreams. Okay? Now, if I was to, for the sake of argument, just delete that one, and I was to bring in this one, this is a natural piece of footage. Things like this really reverse nicely. Okay? Anything involving water or natural objects really work nicely. So, this one is just a simple piece of footage of, you see that? A wave hitting the shore. Now, if I want to reverse this, I can do right-click, Time Reverse Layer. It's got a red bar on it. Now when I play it, it's a very beautiful effect. Okay? Now, it's surreal. It's kind of outside of our experience of life, and therefore you could argue that it's a very dreamlike effect. All right? Now, there are other pieces of video in here that you could... Has anybody seen the bit of the water droplets coming out of the sky, hits a pond and sends out a ripple? You seen that one? That one would reverse nicely as well, because there the ripple would come to a still pond, and then the water would go up in the air. Okay. Now let's just see if I can also, I'd be interested to know, it's been a while since I've done this, so I'm going to try now importing from my desktop out of sources a piece of music. I'm going to see if I can reverse the music. Okay, so again, this might be a nice effect if I'm looking for some sound and I would like to create a slightly unsettling atmosphere. So I'll just go File, Import, go into the audio folder. Let's try... Let's try that one. No idea what it's going to be like. Let's just see if you can hear it first. I'll play it first of all for you. You can see. Oh, I didn't. Do you know what I didn't do? Sorry, I didn't put the sound in. Didn't drop it in. There we go. Try it again. Have to re-render it again because the sound's been put in since I rendered it. It's just thinking about it. I'd say that's Irish music, probably. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do now is take that piece of music, right-click on it, go Time Reverse Layer. Ooh, it has reversed it. God knows what it's going to sound like. Can you imagine? Well, let's try it and see what it sounds like. Interesting. Sounds very similar, doesn't it? You might say it sounds even better the other way, in reverse. But anyway, so the important thing is here, it would be very, very easy for you to generate sounds, soundtracks, audio, just people speaking, for example, words, import those and reverse the sounds. And you can get some really nice effects. You know, this is used a lot in recording techniques. You know, back in the 1960s, the Beatles, for example, introduced a whole load of reversing sounds. So just take ordinary everyday sounds, get that kind of sound as things are reversing. So playing around with reversing sound and reversing film is an old series of techniques, but worth exploring, worth knowing how to do. Okay, so I will at that point, and let's see if I can stop this video. It's down here. So I just need to click on that video.